What's going on, internet? It's your boy Studio Breeze, and I'm here yet again with my brother.
Keith Mills, what's good, y'all?
We are here today. We on more Dragon Ball news speculation topics. We are talking about the Dragon Ball Super Beerus remake. Now, I personally think that this is stupid and a waste of time, but hey, it's Dragon Ball. They got to get their bread out. I understand. I understand you guys like to milk the series, but the fact that it's a rumor going around right now that it's about to be 6 episodes, which roughly translates to about an hour and 40, which the movie originally was an hour 45. I just don't understand. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was either 12 or 18 episodes from the actual Dragon Ball Super anime. It's just too much milking of this specific arc. And I like the introduction of everything as much as the next guy. But I'm questioning, what is the point of doing this? I get animation wise, as far as like the episodes were concerned, specifically episode 5, that Super Saiyan 3 Goku looked horrendous. But I just don't understand what the point is when we had the anime and the movie already, and the movie gave pristine animation. They only did that for, they only put it in the anime for the anime's sake to kind of lead up into a traditional way, just in case people didn't see the movie, which, in my opinion, is stupid. Like, everybody, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you're pretty much watching everything Dragon Ball. I'm like, come on. As soon as you can, you're going to watch that stuff. So it's not like there's a tremendous amount of people who never seen Battle of Gods. When that came out, what, 2015? Like, come on. So I think it's definitely. I mean, it's interesting to see what it is they might make up. Like, to make it a little bit different. I think the only thing that people would change, or that they would change, that people would actually be excited for, is in the fight with Beerus. Goku went Super Saiyan 3 and said, "This is my final form right now." Now, if you look at the manga, he says right now, and he says it in the anime as well, but it's like, right now, this is my highest form. So what if, in this scenario where we're trying to rehash it, but also kind of make it a little bit more fresh, we throw that Super Saiyan 4 from Diamond mode in there, and then we get to see Super Saiyan 4 versus Beerus. The
Yeah,
promotion, a lot of the old stuff, like a lot of the fan made things, they had that golden Super Saiyan 4 versus Bills, the god, as he was called before. I'm feeling like they could possibly do something like that, and that would be actually hype to see a fight on King Kai's planet, or even on Earth, whichever one he would end up using that form for. It would be hype to see it, even though, of course, we know naturally it's supposed to, in canon, be a much weaker form and things like that. I think that would be dope to make it actually worth it to actually rehash something that we've seen. This will be the third time seeing this arc. Keys, what do you think?
I bet y'all expected me to play devil's advocate, but no, I think it's a waste of goddamn time too. And I view it as I view it as pretty much just a kind of a gap project, something to fill the void between now and the super coming back. I'm be honest, animation looks beautiful. I really did enjoy the Beerus movie, and think about that, huh? A remake of a remake. We're getting 6 episodes. I'm expecting phenomenal animation like we've seen in that reveal trailer, and it's I find it funny that you do say that about the Super Saiyan 4 thing. I don't know if it's a rumor. They actually did confirm it. That Daima was going to be considered canon, but what if they're literally just making this to canonize Daima with doing that fight with Super Saiyan 4? That would be dope. That would be dope. That kind of changes things a little bit, because I'm like, in terms of the power scaling, where would Super Saiyan 4 scale towards something with, like, Super Saiyan God? And then you also got to think they kind of look very, very similar with the same hair
That same
colors.
exact red.
Yeah, so like, what are they willing to change? Where are they gonna go? Do they could plan on remaking the Resurrection F arc as well? Like, how far is this gonna go, man?
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought that up. I almost forgot myself, because now, me personally, when those two movies came out, I was more of a fan of Resurrection F, as far as like the battle scenes
Same.
were concerned.
Yeah.
I liked the lore and all the new things that we got, adding gods and like this whole new celestial realm, even further beyond than what we had before in the Dragon Ball cosmos. That was really interesting, and the inclusion of universes later on, that was really interesting. But I honestly feel like when we go down to brass tacks and like talk about OG Dragon Ball Z, that's where Resurrection F definitely felt the most familiar. Like it felt like a much bigger scale, like a mix of Namek and also the Mecha Frieza little part, like put together. You know, like it felt like that type of level, having the Z fighters get involved, and I want to see more of that in Dragon Ball in the future. Just because we have so many side characters that we just leave. So it's like I like seeing Tien and Master Roshi, Krillin, Piccolo beating up all these different, these grunts. Yeah, sure, but they was doing it in style, and it was a giant. It's different seeing a one-on-one fight versus a one versus many fight, and seeing multiple one versus many fights and seeing them like do different creative ways to dispatch their enemies. That thing had me hyped. So I definitely want to see if they're going to do this Beerus thing. At this point, you might as well throw the free. You might they might as well just go ahead. What you say before Dragon Ball Super Kai? At this point, because what is
honestly,
the
bro.
actual point of just doing Beerus?
Yeah, I
None.
actually want to talk about what you said about the all the side characters and like, yeah, man, it's like we at this point it's very well known that they are very much well behind, but it's like I don't even think a lot of the times they can even handle some of the sidemen, the henchmen. Like in the Resurrection F movie, I think they was kind of getting their ass beat. Gohan almost went to cardiac arrest trying to go Super Saiyan. That's neither here nor there though. But yeah, the side characters to me are we've grown up with them, so they're like homies. We love them just as much as we love Goku and Vegeta, and being able to have them in some way, shape, or form, like they could have this thing where Goku and Vegeta maybe are handling the actual big thread, and the henchmen are like laying siege to cities and shit, and that's where all the other side characters go. And they can even have like little lieutenants that are stronger than the others, and that's where you get cool ass Krillin fight or Yamcha redemption arc. Here we come, something like that.
Trying to see somebody get caught with the Wolfang fist in 4K in this mug in
It's
2026.
something. Come on now, like, because they can really do if they decide to remake the Resurrection F movie as well. They could do a lot with that because there was a lot of Frieza's henchmen. They could be attacking cities, and then the side characters can actually do something. And
Right.
that can be its own little thing, and that's how they can actually, if they want to
And rectify
extend.
the animation too. I
Oh
feel like they
yeah,
tried to do that in the actual show, but that animation for the Resurrection F, oh my lord. Oh my, there's certain like frames that look dog shit.
I've
It's
seen
it's
better. I've
actually
seen better.
horrendous. It's at, and I've seen better in Dragon Ball Z. Like it's in
No,
random
like
frame. It's
shit. I ain't gonna
actually
lie.
embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing. I can't even lie to you. Like so that's why I'm like, if y'all gonna do that, let's just get a whole Dragon Ball Super Kai at this point. Just do it all over, you know. And I think also there's some discrepancies from different like things from the Goku Black arc, and also you could honestly just redo it in the entire manga style. I feel like if y'all do that, do it the exact way that the manga did, and just change everything to match the manga, then we'd be cooking, because
Yeah.
then that would give it a lot of time, to catch up, and then for Toyotaro to get a certain distance away, especially because I feel like Dragon Ball Super when it comes back, for the Galactic Patrol, that's going to be seasonal more than likely. So it would be in their best interest to go ahead and do it in that way. But
So
as
like,
always, speculation.
yeah, like think something like where you got your runtime for the Galactic Patrol arc that ends, and then that's when Resurrection F remake comes. When that ends, that's when they'll start promotion maybe for next season of Dragon Ball Super. There, they just keep going on from there. I like the
Mhm.
idea of Dragon Ball Super Kai does sound kind of interesting. I will say, the reveal trailers they were showing in the live stream, man, though that was shit was looking amazing. And like you said, that kind of like manga to animation transition, it looked real clean, bro. And if they could really nail that type of animation, that shit, bro. Then I could almost understand why, because you're actually really improving upon something rather than a lot of remakes, anime remakes nowadays that aren't really improving upon the source material in the original anime that there was.
Exactly. I definitely agree with that wholeheartedly. And that's why I'm like, come on, with Dragon Ball, y'all gotta come correct. Because at the end of the day, the fans are gonna show, they're gonna show in support. but they're also going to be very vocal about what it is that they're seeing. So it's at this time it's very imperative that they go ahead and do this the right way. I think Toei in general is wisening up to kind of emulate what the Demon Slayer model. You know, we talked before recording. We talked about the fact that Demon Slayer did a similar thing where they made the movies and then they kind of adapted it into the show. They did that in a much better way, and I think they're gonna try and emulate how they did that, and then possibly for the whole series. But if not, it's probably just gonna be at least for those two arcs, you know. And I think, you know, if they do it correctly and they have that Daima level animation, it's gonna pop. It's gonna pop.
Man, like when you said about that whole Super Saiyan 4 thing, that really got me thinking. Like that really could change things. And but I will say that if they really do that, is like, will they still kind of incorporate that, you know, transformation in there in some way, shape, or form, more so than they did like Super Saiyan Blue? Maybe I don't know, Vegeta, instead of like Super Saiyan Blue evolution, he gets his Super Saiyan 4 form. I don't know, something like that. Like,
Or you could give it to the kids, have them get their tails as late
facts.
bloomers. You know, you
Puberty.
never
Oh my
know.
god.
Yeah,
Right.
and they just got a little like literal shift from being little ass kids to actually being teenagers now. So one day they could just wake up with some tails and then bada bing boo
And then we
pow.
cut them right off, right?
Oh God, no. But hey, those are speculations for the Dragon Ball Super Beerus remake, as well as a possible revival of F remake that could go along with it. That, I mean, we definitely think if they're gonna do it, they might as well, you know, keep it going. But hey, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. What you guys are excited for when it comes to the Dragon Ball Super Beerus remake, and any ideas that you think that actually would make this different than what we've already gotten 2 times before.
Let us know if you want a Dragon Ball Super Kai. Let us know what other anime deserves this type of treatment. And as always, make sure to check the description for an invite to the Struggle Bros Discord, where we'll talk more about our videos, host game tournaments, have live debates, etc., etc. I'm Keese,
And I'm Breeze.
and the struggle war continues.
Be breezy.